This is Mortal Shell's roguelike mode. Access this pillar and you get to choose your starting loadout. First you pick a shell. The new Haddon shell becomes available after you collect an instinct in the roguelike mode with every single shell, so it does take a few runs. Before that it won't be available. Same goes for Haddon's Axatana weapon, which is the new weapon in the DLC. Once you've picked your loadout, you can go in, and what will happen is you'll get a world seed procedurally generated which changes the environmental layout and randomly places enemies. When you first spawn in, you'll get a random instinct, aka skill, to start with. Wait for mine, there it is, Dual Wielder. So the damage of the katana's weapon ability is increased by 30%, which is a good one to start with. In this mode, you only get one life. If you die, you'll leave the world and have to start again, so staying alive is crucial. It's harder to do this at the start really, because you start with only one instinct, the one we got when we first spawned in, but the more instincts you get, the easier the run becomes. Archers are the most troublesome, so I just ran into his melee range to get him to stop firing at me. They don't do much damage, but their arrows do stagger you, which can get you hurt by other enemies, but more importantly, there are no healing items in the roguelike mode. You have to manage your health between parrying, accessing pillars, and with extremely rare items or health perking instincts, the latter of which are random. So you don't want to take any damage, not even small bits of damage from archers' arrows. As far as instincts go, pretty much they can drop from enemies, but mostly you'll get them from pillars or glowing statues once you've killed the enemies around those pillars or statues. Otherwise, usually, not always, but usually they'll be inaccessible until you do that. The goal is then to find the pillars and statues, but until you've upgraded some of your starting perks, like accessing pillars for free, you have to pay tar to access them. So for that you'll need to kill every enemy you see in order to earn tar, and also search the area to find items that contain bags of tar. Before you start a new run and after bosses, there's what's called a runic wall. When you access that, you can spend tar and glimpses to upgrade your chance at starting or getting certain things, and that's where you can pay to make a certain number of pillars in every world area free to access. Also, there's a runic wall perk for keeping your tar after you die, so make sure you prioritize upgrading that to 100% as quickly as you can in between runs, as it will really help you out. As you can see, there's no pillar in this area here, so I'm pretty much just going through the motion of killing enemies to get whatever goodies I can before I move on to the next area and look for one. Be sure to check every area you're in for items though, as instincts don't just come from pillars. The more items you pick up, the more skills you're going to get. You always get to choose from 3. These are all good, but never pass up on picking base damage plus 1 instincts. The more damage you can do, the easier your run will become. I think increased damage is about the best instinct you can want to find. You can see on the right of the screen a red and purple circle. Those are the instincts I currently have. One is my Axatana weapon ability increase that I got as my starting instinct, and the red one is the damage increase I just got. All the instincts you get will stack on the right of the screen as you play, but you can also view them in your skill tree in your character menu under instincts if you want to. I know this area here, it leads to the Shrine of Ash, which is a boss fight, but unless you have found a token you won't be able to get through. There's just no way to rush bosses in this mode. Still, I'm going to clear it because there could be a hidden pillar up here if I'm lucky. And there's an annoying frog. Move close to them and harden, they'll jump at you and splatter. If they hit you when you haven't hardened, they'll poison you and that will drain your health. Since there are no healing items, that's bad. My first run started me near 3 frogs. I had no idea and barged right in, got hit by all 3, and my entire run lasted 1 minute because the poison killed me. It was pretty funny, actually. And you just saw the door to the next area was blocked off with a fog wall. There weren't any pillars there either, so it's time to kill these last remaining enemies and then move on to find some. If you do a few runs, you can keep bags of tar in your inventory, meaning you could skip all of these enemies and just run around picking up items and finding pillars. I think in time, full runs could be done very quick like that, although you will miss out on the items that enemies can drop if you do. Me, I haven't actually tried to complete a full cycle yet. I used my first few runs to unlock Haddon and the Axatana. This is actually my first time playing with the new shell and weapon, so I'm killing everything, having fun, and pretty much just farming stuff to upgrade the runic wall between runs. I'll do my first serious run next, and when I do, I'll probably start with Aerodrome as my shell to take advantage of having a high health bar, but there's rewards for doing it with different shells, so yeah, I'll use Aerodrome to do my first full cycle run, and then I'll move on to different shells once I have a better idea of what I'm doing. Not that Haddon's bad though, I'm actually enjoying playing with him so far, but his health bar is pretty low. I think Fulgrim's the easiest area, and as you progress through the roguelike, a low health bar may work against you, especially if you're not really good at the game. And by really good at the game, I mean really good at parrying, since parrying is the main way that you'll be able to heal yourself. I think later on, as the game gets a bit harder and you take more damage and enemies do more damage to you, yeah, you might want something like Aerodrome with a higher health bar, at least to start with, until you get more familiar with playing this roguelike. So yeah, I'll play with Haddon for a little while now, and then I'll let myself die probably, or I'll go as far as I can, and then once I probably do die, oh, there's another instinct, and it's another damage base increase. No choice there, gotta pick that one. Finally, I can see a pillar up there. It's glowing yellow. Different coloured pillars usually give different rewards. Sometimes a yellow pillar will drop a token to transport straight to the next area. This one doesn't have a token, but it does have an uncommon instinct, which is good, but I think I'll go for enhanced parry and have that 15% chance to leave an enemy vulnerable when you do an empowered riposte. Okay, so I think that's a good quick snippet of Mortal Shell's Virtuous Cycle DLC's roguelike mode called The Reverie. I liked Mortal Shell before, but I really love this mode. Honestly, I feel this is the way the game was always meant to be played, and I can see myself playing it a lot. If you want to play it yourself, rush out now because it's free. It just got released on Steam too, and the DLC is free if you buy the game on Steam up until August 24th. After that, you'll have to pay for the DLC, and I think it's worth paying for, but hey, it's free for at least another day, so I say take advantage of that. Anyway, I'm Fuzzy Barbarian. Thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you guys later.